This episode is with a man whose game is so real he doesn't need props. I'm talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Reggie Bush. For you, in your prime, could you beat Tyreek Hill in a race?
Ooh. Reggie Bush has sued everybody and their mama this year. You ever been to a Diddy party?
Nope.
Thank God.
Yo, 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 welcome to Out of Pocket with RG3, hosted by the lovely Grete Griffin and your boy RG3. If you haven't followed us yet or like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that right now because we're going to be throwing out some bangers. Why did I mess that word up? I don't know. But we're going to be throwing out some bangers for y'all, okay? Well, sometimes you mess up your words, but at the end of the day, we're going to make sure we deliver for you guys through and through. So make sure y'all like and subscribe and get ready for this fire we're about to do. So I'm very excited about this next guest. All right. And I have to do this introduction in a basketball voice. All right. I've always wanted to do this, so I'm gonna make it happen. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Get ready. This episode is with a man whose game is so real he doesn't need props. But I'm gonna give them to him anyway. This man juked defenders so hard they're still looking for their ankles. The Heisman winner they couldn't keep down, and the only guy who could manage to dodge defenders and TMZ cameras at the same time. Okay? He is a highlight reel, a human highlight reel, and one of the longest and greatest careers we've ever seen in the pros and also in college. This man made so many defenders do the cha-cha on the field, you would think he was a dance instructor. I'm talking about the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Reggie Bush. Yeah, come on, baby. I wanted to do that for so long.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show. Appreciate you, coming by.
Thank you for having me.
First thing we got to ask you is, are you okay?
Absolutely.
Robbery attempt and everything that happened at the house.
I thought you were just like checking on me.
No, I am checking on you. I'm checking on you. Are you okay?
Yeah. No, we're definitely fine, man. You know, it was a little bit of a scare. Me and my wife were at home and we were upstairs. Actually, I just got out of the shower and my kids were sleeping in another room and I just heard a loud glass just shatter. And I'm upstairs, which is, what I love about our house is we have upstairs, downstairs, and all the rooms are upstairs. So we already have a great vantage point if somebody's trying to break in downstairs, because I can stay upstairs and have my gun drawn, just in case, somebody tries to run upstairs.
You carry that thing too, huh?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And sleep next to me. Sleep right next to me. But because in our area, we've had a number of home invasions, of break-ins and robberies. And so I was already on high alert. My wife, we already, we always make sure that, we have a plan. And as soon as we heard the glass break, I shouted. And before I even got halfway down the stairs, they had already left. They had already took off and ran. So nobody got in the house. No harm, no foul. Just my glass got broken. Nobody got shot. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was safe. Right. And, I'm happy that my family was safe at the end of the day. So, yeah.
You said the kids were sleeping. Are they even aware that anything happened?
Yeah. So we tried to not tell them as long as we could. Yeah. But, once they came downstairs the next morning, they see the glass is completely shattered. And I had to call this emergency place to come board up the window because it's pretty big, kind of like this one right here. It's about that size. Okay. And it's a sliding glass door. And so, one of the things that I learned is that these people who do these home invasions, they know the specific glass doors to go to because of the way it breaks. Oh. And so they make a little crack in the corner.
There you go.
And then all you got to do is just push it in, right? And so the glass will completely shatter. And so there's a company out there that does these protective films over the glass that basically makes it break proof. So that's what we're doing right now, putting that on our windows, and stuff like that, adding just extra security cameras around the house. But yeah.
We literally just learned that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. About what?
About the glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We have the double pane, windows.
Double pane windows. Right? Yep. That's it.
You want to tell the story?
You got it.
Yes, I mean, it's a little different. Obviously, we thought someone was trying to break into our house. We went over to Paris for the Olympics, you know, doing some interviews, sitting down with a bunch of Olympians, having a good time. And our lawn guy calls over and he's like, hey, his name Angel?
Angel.
Can I do the accent?
No.
Hey, Mr. Giffen, your window is broken. So he calls me, he's like, the window's broken. I'm like, all right, what happened? He's like, I don't know. Guys went over by the house. They're you know, doing what they do, and they see that the window's broken. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, oh my God, like there's a big opening into our home, not knowing that it only broke the outside pane of the window. So it was still secured. What ended up happening is they were doing some lawn work, and the guy took a blow dryer, not blow dryer, but blow dryer. What am I talking about? Leaf blower. Leaf blower. Took a leaf blower, and he was running it by the window, and actually picked up a rock.
Oh dang!
And it hit it. It literally hit the corner that you're talking about.
That corner. Yep. Isn't that crazy?
Instantly cracked the entire glass. And the reason we found out was we have the security cameras at the house. Yep. So we went back and we tracked it all the way back.
That's
and
crazy.
We saw it happen, and you could literally see the shimmer in the window as soon as it happens.
That's crazy, man.
And to his credit, they took care of it. So appreciate them for doing that. But we literally just found out that that's exactly how you break those, which is kind of alarming.
Man, that's crazy. And then the other thing I found out too, I learned is that these people who do these home invasions, they carry these Wi-Fi blockers, so it basically looks like a big ass antenna. Okay, it's got 6 antennas coming out. It looks like it looks like a big ass remote.
Okay,
and it has 6 antennas coming out of it. Now they can block your Wi-Fi from about 250 yards out from your house.
To wipe your cameras out.
So everything's usually connected to what?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. So it'll knock out your cell phone, your ability to call out. It'll knock out your Wi-Fi, your cameras, because they know all that stuff is connected, and they don't even have to be on the property. They just need to be near it. So what you need to get is like these. It's called Faraday. These little blockers that basically it's like a little blocker that you can put around the router. Okay. So only a signal goes out, but a signal can't come in to block it. Right. And so make sure you do that. Wow. That's something I learned, and the security company showed me like they had actually caught a guy a week prior. And he showed me the pictures of the guy with the same exact antenna. Wow. This dude walked into my house to show me how easy it was to block my Wi-Fi. Wow. And so, again, for all the people out there, you know, this is just a little knowledge for you guys, especially if you live at home and, you know, everybody got Wi-Fi. Or your windows, you know, need to be protected as well. So
I feel like we're also like giving criminals ideas here, right?
No, we're telling them.
There's a whole operation. I'm letting y'all know what's happening out there. Like this is already, and this is, I guess, this Wi-Fi blocker you can buy off the black market for like $500, like $600. So it's not expensive. Maybe even, you know, a little more than that, but it's not expensive.
We came here to talk to Reggie Bush, and now we are learning the ins and outs of how to stop the people from breaking into the house. Okay, that's out of pocket. What I would say is, I think they were probably you know, trying to get into the house to get that Heisman. You know, they heard you had it back, and it was like, hey, we gotta go see this thing. You know what I'm saying? Reggie got the Heisman.
They didn't want to take it.
They probably was, man.
But in all seriousness, it's good to have you back. Yeah, you know, in the family. For me personally, you never left. Yeah. You know, we all saw you win it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to ask you one question, because I was wondering this. Because of the gun laws being different in Houston, Texas, where you guys live at, are there many home invasions? Like, is that a thing? Because I have to assume, like, if you know somebody, most of these people are carrying, then that's not really.
It depends on where you're at. Right?
Okay. Like anywhere.
Yeah, the places that, like, where you live and where we live, because we're blessed, thank you, Jesus, to do that, and worked really hard for all our lives to afford what we can. It's not that prevalent. Okay. It's more the outside of the home. You know, don't leave your expensive car outside because maybe people can get in the community and steal from you. Yeah. But we haven't had a home invasion in our community, but there is something that happened in our community. You told me about it a few weeks ago.
Oh, the DoorDash driver? Yeah, the DoorDash driver, I guess, gave somebody food at like 8 p.m. and delivered it, and then stayed in the community until like 2 a.m. and then started going from car to car that were all left outside and like robbing people of stuff. Clearly they caught him on every single camera, gave him a lifetime ban into the community.
Lifetime ban, but he got himself a Rolex or something out of one of them cars. You know what I'm saying? He's like, this was worth it.
Yeah.
But no, it's not that prevalent. And to your point, because Texas in the way that they
I've always wondered that, because
like
I do think it's prevalent in Houston. Like as far as I've known, Houston is a pretty dangerous city.
Yeah.
From especially like you're going, I don't know, like downtown kind of. I don't know what side of
every
Houston
city
that would
has
be,
its
but
hood.
yeah.
Right. I grew up in where I really grew up was Copper's Cove, Texas. But a lot of people don't know that I actually lived in New Orleans, which is where you played at for the Saints. Yeah. So my mom and dad are born and raised New Orleans, Louisiana.
What?
Yes, my entire family is in New Orleans, Louisiana. So when were you on that team? No, you weren't on that team in 2012, right? You were already.
No, I was already.
You were in Miami.
I left in 2010.
When we played
11. Sorry.
Yeah, when we played the Saints, my first game of the year, I had like 50 to 60 family members at the game.
Wow.
But I lived there for a year in the Iberville projects. So I got
exactly where that's at.
Oh, I got
that's the hood.
I got the experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
My dad, the running joke in the family is my dad said, "Man, you were only there for 6 months." I said, "No, I was there for a year. I was there for a year."
Dog years living there.
Dog years, but no, every city has their dangerous part, and I think that certainly is prevalent in Houston.
Yeah,
where we're at, home invasions is not really a thing, and just so you know, to your point, there's a lot of homeowners where we're at that got the heat. They got that heat. You know what I'm saying? They got that heat on them. So, back to the Heisman. Just how cool is it, or what was the, I guess for your family, right? Because this is an award that you won, but now your kids and your wife get to enjoy all the fanfare from you getting the Heisman bag. What was that feeling like when you got that call?
It was awesome, man. You know, I was in the room. I was actually downstairs, and my wife was working out, and my attorney called me, and I could just tell in his voice he was excited about something to tell me. And then once he told me, it was just kind of a sigh of relief, you know, like my shoulders just relaxed a little bit. Went into the room to talk to my wife, and you know, she was obviously excited and happy, and you know, we kind of celebrated in that moment right there together. And then
how did you guys celebrate?
A kiss. He gave me a kiss and hug, and it was a long, you know, hug and kiss, like, you know, we did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. And man, there's nothing more beautiful, man, than being able to walk a journey with your best friend, with your wife, be able to go through something, and be able to, you know and believe in each other, in yourself, and having that support by my side, man, meant everything for my wife. For me and my wife. So it was just one of those long hug moments and a kiss. It's like, yeah, we did it, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We can definitely relate, you know. We have been by each other's side. I mean, I've honestly been by Robert's side through every single down.
Yeah.
I was never there for the ups. I've been there for every down.
But they said she wasn't going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
They did definitely say that, but you know.
A lot of people said she wasn't going to be there for the downs.
And the only reason I'm here sitting next to him today was when he got laid off by ESPN. I said, I'm here. Whatever you need, I'm here. And he said, let's just do it ourselves.
Hey man, you got a strong foundation underneath you, big dog. And that's, you know, what I've learned is that's the most important piece, is having that foundation.
Yes.
Having that strength, that foundation, that support, is everything. And I find strength in my family and in me and my wife's relationship. And that allows me to be able to be confident to go and do some of these things, you know, that we have to go and do, you know. And so, you know, again, it's just amazing being able to walk these different journeys. And that was such a massive, I think, moment and sigh of relief in my life that I was so glad that my wife was standing right there next to me. And also, let me tell this other story as well. So when I went to get the Heisman Trophy back, it was supposed to be a surprise. Okay. And there were a number of Heisman winners, past winners, that flew out to Jacksonville to basically vote to give me back my Heisman Trophy.
Oh, wow.
And so the Heisman Trust wanted it to be a surprise. The guys thought they were coming to do one thing. And then I walk into the door, I walk into the room, everybody stands up and applauds. And, you know, Ricky Williams was in there, Eric Crouch, I'm drawing blanks. Some guy, Tim Tebow was in there. I can't remember everybody at the second. But, you know, those were, you know, the fact that they were there that they flew all the way out to Jacksonville just to vote for me to get my trophy back, man. It meant the world to me. And in that moment, I let them know that, like, thank you guys for being here, because you got a bunch of things going on in your lives, families, businesses, work, and you took the time out to come and vote me back in. So I appreciate you guys for that. And so, yeah, man, shout out to all the past Heisman winners, man. That's a real brotherhood.
No, it is a brother. I just want you to know, I would have been there if I wasn't working for ESPN.
You was busy, man.
I'm not anymore, but I would have been there.
Every Heisman winner.
I would have been there for you, man. No doubt. And it is a special feeling, like. You even like when you win the award, and you see all the guys that come back. I think there's a misconception about guys coming back. You know, I'm kind of going off a tangent, but I think some people think the guys come back because they just want the spotlight for that one day.
Right.
And I don't think that's what it is. I think they want to see the next guy get his glory, and they want to be present for that. So like we were talking about it this year, ESPN. They run the Heisman, and they show that on TV. So we're sitting here and we're like, do we go this year? Right, with everything that's happened. And we were talking about this last night, and I say, you know, we don't go because of ESPN.
Right.
We go for whoever that next guy is going to be. And we go for, I don't know if you're going to be able to go to the Heisman this year.
Maybe.
I'm not making you commit. I'm just saying. But if you're there, it's like, we go for Reggie. Because we want you to see you get that shine. But I just want to dispel that right now. Guys aren't going back because they want to wear a fancy suit and be on TV. They go because they want to show that next guy how close this brotherhood is. And speaking of that brotherhood, it was so awesome to have you back in the.
Appreciate it.
Get you in the Heisman House. Were the Heisman House commercials around when you first won?
Nope.
So this is your first time.
No Heisman House commercials were happening at this time period when I won. So yeah, that was something that developed after I left college.
It was one of the most fun years. I'm not gonna lie.
Getting the cryo chamber.
Getting you come out of the cryo chamber, the hyperbaric chamber. Hey, what did I miss? Tell me what happened. We got the elephant over here twerking, and
that was out of pocket.
That was out of pocket. I was shocked that we did that.
What was hilarious is that they wanted Dez to do that first. That
was
Dez.
Dez.
I swear. You don't remember Dez? Were you?
I was not a part of the script writing,
but you were there though when Dez was like, I ain't doing it.
Oh my God.
I feel like you was there both days, right?
I was there both days.
Yeah, you was there.
Dez, I might have been inside. Yeah,
you just might not have witnessed it, but I was outside, and Dez was like, "Nah, I ain't going down. I ain't doing no twerking. I ain't dancing."
Oh my gosh, that would have been epic, especially after his whole Big Penix energy mess up on College Game Day the previous year. To see, I am not voting for another man to twerk. I want y'all to know that right now. Let's talk about you being a method actor.
Yeah.
Because that, it caught me off guard. I'm like, yo, we're going between the scenes, and like you talking to the director. What do you want? You need me like this. We're going to do it like that. Like, y'all don't get to see this stuff, but inside.
His first impression, okay? He had to make a good first impression.
He made an unbelievable first impression. I'm sure that director is probably like right now in Hollywood saying, we need Reggie Bush to play this spot because he's going to buy all the way in. Just from that standpoint, are you like trying to act, or are you acting, or what?
I am actually acting and trying to act, all those things. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And, I think me leaving Fox, finally, or, not leaving, I didn't leave. They just didn't want to pay me. We're being honest. I ain't leave. They just didn't want to pay your boy. But, me taking now kind of that step towards, like we talked about, ownership, right? And owning your own content, owning your own stuff. So me and my wife have launched our own production company. We're going to start to shoot different content, movies. We have different scripts ideas that we want to put together. My documentary is going to be the first project that we do.
Ooh, that's going to be bold.
So it's all within underneath the spectrum of acting, shooting, filming, producing, directing. I want to do it all. So that's where my next main focus is.
That's amazing.
I want to stay there for a second.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You know the show All American, right?
Absolutely.
Right. People love it. Acting is it's fun. It's a great show. We love the show. I am not clowning the acting. The football of it, could be here or there, but it's a great show. We watch it all the time.
Yeah,
you're saying you're gonna do a documentary, which we're gonna watch that. But I feel like your story would be a great one to have that All-American treatment.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And have that true show vibe or a movie, which you still look amazing. Yep. I'm very confident in my manhood, so I'm not going to shy away from telling another man he looks great. Yeah. You look great. You could probably play yourself in that movie. Yeah. But is that something that you're also maybe looking at down the line in the future? Of creating a show
absolutely.
Like an All-American about your football story.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do have ideas that we're putting together about doing a show. You know, I don't want to, without going too deep into it and giving somebody the secret sauce, but yeah, based on my college football career, based on our college football team, and what we embodied, you know, at that time period, what we stood for, the success, the ups, the downs. You know, I thought Pete Carroll did a great job at mixing college football with Hollywood, which is something that we have never seen before. Yeah. You know, maybe the U a little bit when they were at the top, right? Boys, and they had a bunch of, you know, celebrities on the sidelines at games. Uncle Luke always there. And so I used to watch Miami games like, damn, they got Uncle Luke on the sideline. Oh my God. So, you know, but it's just everything that USC stood for, you know, when we were there, and everything that we were able to accomplish. And then, you know, going in between the storylines of the different games and, you know, the college pressures that you go through. You know, all that stuff, you know, I feel like would be perfect for a scripted show. So that's what we're working on right now.
No, that would be awesome. And any way that we can partake or be a part of that ride with you, we would definitely love to. Like, we enjoy the storytelling of it all. It's why we're doing this together. Yeah. You know, that's awesome. Her being a 7-time All-American at Florida State.
That 7 is not even possible for me.
What do you mean?
It's 3, baby.
Okay. Her being a 5-time All-American at Florida State. You know, I know
Wait.
She's a 3-time All-American.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So her full actual
Please give me the scoop. What's the scoop?
3-time All-American at Florida State in the heptathlon. She's the record holder at Florida State in the heptathlon. Wow. 5-time ACC champion.
Ooh,
4-time.
Every time you give me one more.
4-time ACC champion. And
that's crazy.
And her biggest accolade is the fact that she saved my life. Okay. But no, she's a great athlete. I always tell people she's the best athlete in the family.
That's amazing. So you can run.
Can I tell them that?
This is a running family right here.
I know we're like going on tangents right now, but it's the story about when I went to practice with you at Florida State.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay, so first of all, her coach did not want me to practice. Sorry, Coach Nobles, but he did not want me to practice with her. But I was still playing the league. I think I was in Cleveland at the time. There was my one hot cup of tea of 6 months in Cleveland. I went down to Tallahassee trying to, you know, lay down mad game. This is the bottom. I'm in the acquisition phase, if you know what I'm saying. This is the spit game phase. We risen hard phase. So I go down to practice, and I knew she was a great athlete, but I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm a world-class sprinter. 400 hurdler, 110 hurdler. This is gonna be easy. She's running repeat 150s. We get out. First one we go, I don't really like take off and run hard. And she's like dusting me. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, am I like out of shape or something? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm like in good shape. Like, it's right after the season. I feel like I'm in okay shape. And I had to run to like catch her. And I caught her about like, I don't know, 80, 90 meters. Wow. And then we ran the last 60 together. And I looked at her after the first one. I said, oh, you fast. Oh, you fast. And we had 5 that day?
I don't remember.
We ran 5 that day.
5 150s?
5 150s, repeats with walk back rest. And it was a good workout. And every time after that first one, I just made sure I took them first 3 steps hard. Right? And then I just floated with her and helped her, you know, finish strong. But it just showed me, like, not only was she like a great athlete and super fast, but like speed is speed. And you know this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched the highlight tape before we got here. It was incredible. Go watch the Reggie Bush highlight tape, especially the Fresno State game. And like, you were one of the fastest guys on the field. But you know, there's a guy that ran 4.6 or 4.5 that if you didn't really put the pedal down, they could still come get you because speed is so very finite. So I don't know how we got on talking about her being super fast, but that's my grudge.
Does it run in the family? You have other track and field athletes?
My older sister is a 2-time Olympian.
Wow. Olympian? Damn.
Same event, heptathlon. My mom was also a heptathlete, but she was running for the Soviet Union. So
How was that?
Which I think, honestly, running for the Soviet Union is a way bigger accomplishment than me and my sister running for Estonia.
Yeah.
Because to make the Russian team is like...
much more competition.
It's hard.
Plus they were like juicing back then. So for her to make it not juicing is like a big deal.
Yeah. That's...
Sorry, Russia. Not sorry, Russia.
No, not sorry at all, Russia. Putin, don't watch this.
But nah, she got great genes. And then tell them about your younger sister.
My younger sister plays volleyball at Washington in Seattle.
Wow.
So I say my little sister, but she's 6'4".
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like
y'all got some height and
she barely taller than me.
speed.
You know.
Robert met her first when she was 15. She's now 24, and every year she's just been going
6'4"?
past Robert.
She's 6'4". She tall.
She played.
Outside hitter.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
That's
a beast.
amazing.
Man.
Volleyball is a tough sport.
It is a tough sport. But back to you, Reggie. I always like to ask every Heisman Trophy winner this question. Mm-hmm. How did the Heisman change your life forever?
How did it change my life forever? Well, I think my story is obviously unique, and every story is unique to everybody. But it changed my life because it was taken from me, and then I was blamed and labeled as something that I wasn't, and I had to basically take that on the chin. Because at this time when all this was going on, I didn't know how to fight back. I didn't know anything about, courtrooms and attorneys and, everything that the NCAA does on a daily basis. And it's just what, it's part of what they do. But I had no idea, like, how do I fight back? Like, what do I do? What's that first step? You know what I'm saying? All I knew was just to defend myself publicly. Like, nah, this is a lie. But there was obviously a lot more that needed to be done. And, I don't think I didn't have the right, advice. I didn't have, just because, and honestly, I can't necessarily blame, the people close to me because nobody had ever been through this before. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So I'm going through something that has never happened before. And people are like, not sure what to do. I didn't know what to do other than just, go out and play football. That was always my answer, right? Like anytime there was, you have a bad game, let me go back to work. I'm gonna go right back to work. Yeah, I'm gonna go right back to work. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna go back on this football field. I'm gonna ball out. And that was my only fight back because for a very long time, the football field was my sanctuary. That was my escape. Yep. And what's crazy about, I always say this, what's crazy about the football field being my sanctuary, being my place of peace, it's not a very peaceful place.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the place of peace wasn't peaceful for me. And at the same time, that was a place I always ran to for peace.
Wow.
And so for me, I had to figure out on my own how to navigate this entire story, how to navigate this entire situation, what was going on. And, then also at the same time, what people also, have to understand is I got drafted to New Orleans 5 months after Hurricane Katrina.
Ooh.
So as soon as I'm drafted, I have a whole new purpose and a whole new, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say opportunity, but just I have this thing that I have to go do, right? Like I have this purpose and reason why I'm here. And it's not just to go out here and sign autographs. It's to go out here and help restore hope back into the city, back into people's lives. And the Saints are everything in New Orleans.
Oh my gosh,
that.
Yes.
It's the Saints and it's LSU. And those two go hand in hand together.
Yes, they do.
And basketball is third. All right, no disrespect to basketball, but to the basketball team. But basketball is secondary to the Saints there.
That's true.
And the Saints, the people there, that's their baby. They love the New Orleans Saints. And so we right away, I felt, so when I got drafted, the first thing they did was take me on a tour through the Lower Ninth Ward, where the levees broke.
Okay.
And so you got to imagine, I'm coming from Southern California. I get drafted, I land, and they take me straight to the Ninth Ward. And I mean, it was the biggest culture shock for me because it looked like a third world country. Yep. There was still spray paint on the houses with a number on the inside, which represented a number of bodies that were found in the house.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And so I'm driving through New Orleans, looking at all this, seeing where the levees broke, seeing all the destruction. It's literally like a ghost town by 5 o'clock. You know, there's nobody on the streets. There actually was, I remember there was a curfew as well. So it was an 8 p.m. curfew at this time period, my first year. So, you know, it was just a very completely different, just experience, something I had never been through. And so I felt right away, sorry, let me tell this one more story. So after I took that tour, they took me, Coach Payton, Mickey, I don't remember who else was in the room, took me to eat at Chef Emerald's restaurant down in the French Quarter. Mm-hmm. And I walked into the restaurant, and the entire restaurant was packed. As soon as I walked into the door, everybody stood up and started applauding. Aww. And so what it did though in that moment was it gave me a sense of purpose, responsibility, a sense of belonging, because I was dealing with so much mentally as a man and as an athlete from the stuff from USC and my Heisman Trophy, that having that reception felt like, you know, an open arm hug, you know what I'm saying, from the city, from the people. And so for me, that was everything, because right away, it kind of snapped me out of it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like I was in this little bit of just like a funk, like a daze, like just confused, in a state of confusion. And it just snapped me right out of it. And it was like, okay, I have my purpose again, you know, of why I'm here and what I need to do and what I need to go accomplish. And my teammates are right here alongside me. We all on board for the same cause. We all know that we have a tremendous responsibility right now. To these people, to the city of New Orleans, and that's to go out and win football games. Mm-hmm. And we do that, we're going to help restore some hope pretty fast into this city. And so we took that upon ourselves. My rookie year, 2006, we went all the way to the NFC Championship game. And nobody gave us a shot from the beginning of the season, because the year before that, the Saints had lost like 14, 15 games in a row. Yep. So they basically won like 2 games the year before, which is the year of Katrina. Understandably. But that next year, we had to quickly change the narrative. Right. And so that started, and I felt that responsibility, it started with me. So I had to do everything that I could, work my ass off, show up early, stay late, right. You know, extra film study, extra reps in the weight room, extra reps on the football field, like extra everything, you know what I'm saying? Extra ice tubs treatment. Yeah, those aren't fun. Those are not fun, by the way. But you know, it all made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, I got this tremendous job, but it makes sense now. Okay. And thank you, God, for giving me this revelation, you know? And so we embarked on that journey, you know, to go and win and to win big. And we fell this short my rookie year. And so here's what's crazy. If we win that NFC Championship game against the Chicago Bears, we play the Indianapolis Colts. Yep. So 2009 would have been a repeat. Yeah. A Super Bowl repeat of Saints versus Colts. You know, but thankfully we got to the Super Bowl 4 years later, and we won in the fashion that we won. And I never forget winning and then seeing live video footage after we won that after we won the Super Bowl, of people running down streets, celebrating, like literally the city was on fire, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's energy, everybody was outside, everybody was celebrating. And then we had our Super Bowl parade, and it was like over 1 million people out there. And every street you look down, no matter where we were on our Mardi Gras floats, our Super Bowl Mardi Gras floats, and every street you look down was packed. You couldn't even see to the end of people just out there wanting to see, you know, their Saints, see their Super Bowl champions. So yeah, man.
Talking about repeats, would you trade your 2005 Heisman Trophy for a 3-peat national championship?
Oh, why you ask me that question, man? Would I trade? One more time. Give me one more time.
Would you trade? Because you guys won the Natty 2003, 2004. Yep. And then 2005.
We were 10 seconds away from winning that thing.
But that's the year you won the Heisman. Yep. Would you trade your Heisman for the national championship?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't think I would, because, you know, I feel like winning the Heisman Trophy was not just for me. Yeah. It was also for my teammates as well. And it was also for USC, and it was also for the fan base as well. And so when we win and we get a chance to win big, especially the way that I look at it is it's for the people closest to me, you know, to take part and be part of that experience. And, you know, so winning the Heisman Trophy was great. Winning the national championship was amazing. And it's always the pinnacle, right? Winning the championship is always the pinnacle. No doubt. Like, I don't care if you win the MVP in the NFL, Super Bowl is what you want to win. Because we've seen some of the greatest quarterbacks, some of the greatest athletes, you know, play this game have never experienced winning a championship or have never experienced, you know, getting to the playoffs or winning the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, for me, it's twofold, man. I love both of them so much. I don't think I would trade either one. You know, it's just a very different experience.
And you got the best of both worlds, right? Yeah. As a 2-time national champ, and you get to win the Heisman. Yep. It's like, from a credential standpoint, there's not very many people that
10 seconds, man. 10 seconds. Can we just make a tackle? Somebody just make a tackle.
We got to get him and Vince
over there. Tackle.
We got to get him and Vince on the same show. Because
that's my dog, though.
It was an epic game.
Me and Vince, that's my dog.
Would you change your Heisman for a chance to win a national championship for Baylor?
And this is it's different for me, right? Because I didn't win a national championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The reason I wouldn't is because it's kind of crazy, but those national championship teams don't get celebrated as much as Heisman Trophy winners do.
They don't. Yeah.
But I'm not. I say
That's
that.
True.
I say that for the same reason that you said about the Heisman. It's not about me getting celebrated. It's my teammates look back, and when they see myself and my family at the Heisman, that's them. Yeah. Every chance I get on social media, I thank every single teammate that I have for the fact that we won that Heisman. Then I always say we. People have got on me about it, like, it's not we, it's you. It's like, no. Yeah. We won the Heisman. Exactly. And for what that did for Baylor.
And your school gets a Heisman Trophy too.
And they get a Heisman Trophy too. And
there you go.
And I would say this. I'm a great friends with Scott Drew, the head men's basketball coach at Baylor. And Baylor's won a national championship in basketball. On the women's side, they've won multiple national championships.
Yeah, 1 year, both Baylor men and women was in
they were in the top final, I think the Final Four. But those teams do not get celebrated.
Yeah, they don't.
As much as that Heisman Trophy. That Heisman Trophy put Baylor on the map.
Yeah.
And really made the fans feel seen. So when you talk about you guys win the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and you see the fans running down.
Yeah.
I, till this day, I can't watch the Baylor reaction video to us winning the Heisman. Because it felt like the university felt like it had finally been seen for the first time. There was no longer anybody confusing BU with Boston University.
Right.
Okay. Like USC with University of South Carolina.
I'm going to get to that in a second. Okay. But I wanted to go back quickly to something that you said that hit me. Yeah. You said you were trying to find your peace in a place of chaos, right? And it's like, how can you ever find peace when your peace is in chaos? Yeah. So you're doing that at USC, right? Being on the football field, but then your peace is also on the chaos of the field in New Orleans. But when you get to New Orleans, New Orleans is in chaos.
Yeah.
So you really never had an opportunity to find peace for yourself, but you were able to find peace in what you were able to do for the city.
Yeah. Yep.
That had to weigh heavy on you.
Absolutely.
And who would you say helped you get through that part of your life?
Man, so when I was in New Orleans, teammates, obviously. So having guys, I think having veterans on the team, guys like Deuce McAllister, Drew Brees, Will Smith, rest in peace.
Yes.
These guys worked hard, and they were, they were true professionals. And, watching Drew, I always tell the story when I got drafted. I always prided myself in being the hardest worker on the team. Like, I don't care who he is, I'm going to outwork him. Okay. And I'm going to show you. All right. And Drew ended up being that guy on our team that was the hardest, the guy I sought to work harder than, because, I saw his work ethic, and I saw, how dedicated and passionate he was. And he's the leader of the team too. And so I would try to show up in the mornings as a rookie as early as possible. I wanted to beat Drew into the facility. And I would show up, I swear to God, it's a true story. And I would show up, and also because there's just nothing else to do at this time period. So I was like, I'm going to get the most out of this. I'm going to work my ass off. So I show up, 5:30 in the morning. There's one car already in the parking lot. And I walk into the facility, and Drew already sitting there watching film. It's like no staff is in there, no coaches, no trainers, nobody. But Drew would already be in there watching film. And so I was like, damn, like, when does this guy sleep? I know he got a wife and kids at home. I'm single at this time. I'm like, when does he sleep? Because after practice, he's the last guy off the field. You know what I'm saying? And there's guys, practice is done, hour and a half already, and Drew's still working. You know what I'm saying? Guys already driving home, probably already at home. Right. Drew's still at the facility, still working, you know? And so I would watch him, and I saw that, and I was just like, damn, like, this dude is the epitome of you know, what it should look like as a true professional. And I want my game to be at that level. So let me work my ass off and let me do, you know, follow in his footsteps. And, you know, I never beat him into the facility. There were a few times where I was the last one off that football field, though. I would say that, you know, because, you know, if I couldn't beat you in there early, I'm going to stay late. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so that was just something that I wanted, and, you know, I tried to do, but it was a result of having great talent around me and having great leadership around me, which is something I've been very fortunate to have, you know, even down to the high school level. I had great talent around me. I had great athletes around me that worked their ass off, and coaches that believed in me and that also worked their ass off. Right. And so, you know, I was blessed because, you know, high school and college, and in that first, you know, that first team in the NFL, like, that was everything for me, you know, for my career, you know? And so it was so important, you know, for me, again, like, when I won a Heisman Trophy, I was like, this is a reflection of the guys around me that are pushing me to get here. Like, if I was practicing against some bums every day, then, you know what I'm saying, it might be a different story. But I'm practicing against Brian Cushing, Clay Matthews, Keith Rivers, you know, some of the top linebackers, you know, coming out of high school and then play at the college level. And then our D line was all first round draft picks. Like, we had great players, and every practice was a dogfight. Every practice was a dogfight. And so again, like, that was a period for me where I felt like, man, it wasn't just about me. I was surrounded by great talent and great athletes that pushed me to get there.
So when you talk about that, and you talk about going and basically feeding off of Drew Brees' work ethic, right? You already had your own, but like, the competitiveness of being that top guy, I know that feeling. Do you think a lot of times, or when you look back at your career, people said that you should have went number 1 overall to the Texans? Do you think that getting drafted to New Orleans and having Drew Brees there, as opposed to being with David Carr, changed your career forever?
100%. 100%. And, you know, so if you remember back, I was the shoo-in number 1 pick. 100%. It was guaranteed. It was so guaranteed that when I went to the combine, you interview with all the other teams, right?
Nobody else interviewed you.
31 teams didn't interview me because it was like, he's not even going to be available. So I only interviewed with the Houston Texans. I didn't even speak to the Saints or the Jets, who had the 3rd pick. And so they just already knew he's not going to be available. And so I remember the head coach, talking to the head coach, and the GM at the time was Charlie Casserly. And we had already started looking for property, homes in Houston. And we found out the night of the draft on ESPN. That's how I found out I wasn't going to be a number 1 draft pick. And mind you, my agent is talking to Casserly and the president pretty much daily about me and about how they're going to use me, what they want. And so then draft night comes the night before the draft. It shows up on ESPN that they had already solidified a contract, basically signed a contract with Mario Williams. So that's how I found out I wasn't going to be number 1 pick. And so the second that happened, now we were like, okay, who has the 2nd and 3rd pick? Because, you know, I was planning on going to Houston. And so it was, you know, there were a lot of doubts at that time because of Katrina. And the Saints didn't have a home stadium at this time period. So their stadium was completely destroyed, and there was no guarantee as to where they were going to play their games. And so I was like, man, I don't know about going into that situation, because there's a lot of uncertainty there.
More chaos.
More chaos. Exactly. And so this is what changed. This is also what partly changed my heart as well, was after that was announced, Drew called me. And Drew called me and he's like, man, great to meet you. Great to talk to you. But I want to let you know, I played with who I think was one of the greatest running backs ever, LaDainian Tomlinson. I think you have an opportunity to be just as good or better than him. And I can't wait to play with you. And that gave me all the confidence in the world to like, okay, this is a spot for me. This is where I need to go. I'm a big believer in following, your spirit, following like, just being connected to your spirit. And because I've always tried to lead with my spirit, and it's usually never failed me, right? Like there's some times where you have that gut feeling like, I don't know about this dude, or I don't know about this situation. And it's usually your spirit pulling on you like, don't do it.
Right.
But my spirit was on fire in that moment. I flew down to New Orleans, rest is history. You guys know the stories. Took the tour through the Ninth Ward. I was like, all right, this is it. I have a huge responsibility here, and this is why I'm here, And so to not get drafted by Houston in that moment, it hurt.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, it hurt me in that moment. But then Drew and the Saints right away picked me up and was like, nah, let's go do this. Right. And I truly believe that everything happens for a reason.
No doubt.
I believe that God has his hand on everything. And that team that was put together was by a higher power, and we were meant to go to New Orleans to win that Super Bowl.
Where did you guys end up playing that year?
So our first 2 months we spent, we were in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay.
Where Jackson State is, where Prime just left.
Okay.
And we stayed there for 2 months. We had basically a month and a half long training camp, bro. It was crazy.
How were those facilities?
Not great.
Okay.
We were at Millsaps. It's called Millsaps University.
Okay.
It wasn't great at that time. They might be better now. All right. I ain't saying nothing about Millsaps now. I'm just saying back then they were not great. And but this is what it is. This is the job requirement. This is what you got to go through, right? To get to that glory, right? It don't always look glamorous in the beginning,
right?
But in the end, if you trust the process and you trust God and you trust everything, then it can happen for you, And so that's what I truly felt, about that time.
No, that's awesome. I want to go as short as long as you want. If there's one decision that you made while in your pro career, that you could go back and change, what would that be?
I think, everything happens for a reason, right? Like all the ups and the downs. I've been through different marketing agents and different situations where I had to hire and fire people. I would say I made some business decisions that I didn't trust my spirit on.
Okay.
I should have trusted my spirit on. It ended up biting me in the butt.
Give me one.
I invested with a group of guys, a group of NFL players.
Okay.
Into Panera Bread. And Panera Bread, great franchise.
Yeah.
Great food. I still like it to this day. But what happened was one of the ladies this guy had put together to basically kind of run the entire operation and the fund passed away. And once she passed away, things just started to go south, and money was getting spent above what they should have been spending, and ended up running the entire thing into the ground. And so I lost all my money on it, on that deal. That was about $300,000, right? And so that was a small one. So I didn't learn from that one. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more. So now, X amount of years later, 2 of my boys come to me like, yo, we got this dope house deal.
Oh boy.
Right? We should invest in this house. We're gonna tear it down. It's in Beverly Hills, 90210. Great view. We're gonna tear it down, we're gonna rebuild it, and we're gonna flip it, right? Bank ended up foreclosing on the house because I can't remember what his title is at this time, but the main guy was just not doing what he was supposed to.
The contractor?
Contractor. Yeah. but not the contractor, somebody else. He wasn't paying the contractors.
Oh, okay.
And so
project manager.
The project manager, but there's an actual word for it, I'll remember in a second. But he just wasn't doing what he's supposed to. And it was supposed to be a great deal because he had bought the house right behind our house.
Oh.
So he was like, this is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna do my house and your guys' house at the same time. We're all in this together. So he owned that house and he owned a piece of the house where we were. One of the things you should never do is you should never invest with your boys. Don't ever invest with your homies. All right? Don't do it not because necessarily, you know, it's just a conflict of interest, right? Like, you don't want to mix up your friendship that you might have. The respect I might have for you could change if you screw me out of my money.
Oh, 100%.
Then I might want to like fight you or you know, sue you or whatever it is because, you know, again, and that's why you should just try to not do business with your homies as much as possible, because if they're your true friends, then keep them as true friends.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And you have your business side, you got to separate all these different areas. So I think the one thing, and as I'm thinking this out and talking this out with you now, because I haven't thought about this before, but would be to just, you know, be smart about my investments, be smart about who I allow into my circle.
Yep.
You got to be very protective over your peace.
Yeah.
You know, people will unknowingly, right, will distract you from your goals in life, distract you from or take away from your peace, whatever that is. But man, like, I would just protect me and protect my peace way more.
Okay.
That's what I would focus on.
I think that's great advice. Yeah. Continuing down the road of just your pro career, in your prime. Like, we watched your highlight tape. I clearly have seen all the highlights, but she hadn't, and I love to see like a.
When you were playing, I was still overseas. So
yes,
they didn't show us football.
So
what's that first one?
It was the Fresno State game.
What years were you guys in college together?
No.
Oh, okay.
She literally, go ahead, Tom.
I started in 2012.
So she came to the America when I went
to
pro.
the America.
Got you. Okay.
I said to the America.
To the America.
My bad.
Even I know better English than that.
I've been around her too long. My English is getting worse because I'm hanging around this European all the time. So she came to the America.
That was hilarious.
So yeah, she came to America when I went pro.
Yeah.
But I always, you know, I'm not the only person who was fascinated with the way that you played the game. Like, you inspired generations. My actual
appreciate that, man.
First run, like big run in college, was deemed the Reggie Bush run. Okay.
Wait, which run is this? I need to see this.
We gotta make sure we can pull it up, but we can definitely put it on the screen. I was playing against Wake Forest, and I came in the game like second quarter-ish. Kirby Freeman, who was the starter at Miami, was the starter for us, and they took him out, put me in. I was supposed to be like the change of pace quarterback. Oh, I changed the pace now. I started the rest of the year. Love you, Kirby. So I was running down the sideline, and a big defensive lineman was coming from about 5 yards back, inside out. You know what I'm doing. You know where I'm going with this. He gets close to me on the sideline as I'm dodging guys.
Yeah.
Hit him with the step back.
Hit him with that step back.
Hit him with the step back. Now, here's where there's a difference between Reggie Bush and everybody else, okay? When I hit him with the step back, I should have cut across the field. Yeah. Just like you did against Fresno. I didn't. I hit the step back. He went flying out of bounds, and I kept running straight down the sideline and ended up getting tackled before I could score a touchdown. Because, you know, when you do that, when you hit the step back, all your momentum's gone.
The cut back across the field is one of the most deadliest moves that you can pull on the field, because what I've learned is people they don't change direction well on the field. When you're going full speed and you got to right away put your foot in the ground, change direction, especially when you're not dictating it.
Correct.
That's you in no man's land. Yeah. Right. And if you have a smart, athletic runner with the ball, you're going to get cooked
100%.
Every single time. And so for me, you know, I started cutting back when I was in Pop Warner, when I was young, because I would watch Barry Sanders. And I was like, oh, this dude is a magician on the football field. How you do that? And I used to just be amazed watching him. And I was like, man, I want to be like Barry. Like, I don't care. You know, sometimes when you find that superhero and you're like, no, that's my superhero.
That's him. Yeah.
It was Barry Sanders for me. And I tried to do everything I could to emulate what he did on the football field. I started cutting back like him. in Pop Warner, and obviously having success with it. And so I just started perfecting it. You know what I mean? And anything that you practice all the time, you're going to get really good at it.
No doubt.
And so I found, you know, my own pathway, right? I found my own way to score. And, you know, I always wanted to be an exciting football player. And I talk to my kids about this now, about being exciting athletes. It's not enough to just go out there and to go through the motions and, you know, make plays, but you want the crowd to stand up, be like, damn, did you see that? Or stand up and applaud or cheer, or, you know, just making somebody jump out their seat, to me is like, I love hearing that when people are like, man, I jumped out my seat when you cut back on that field. And
hey, you did that.
So, you know, I always wanted to be a true entertainer,
right?
You know what I'm saying? On the field. And that's why, you know, and usually for me, I felt like when I was really at my true self, was actually not playing running back.
Really?
It's actually punt returner.
Okay.
Because I felt like it's just me and I got to go make a play. You don't really have punt return plays. It's usually like, hey, go block these guys, and then you with the ball, go make a play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's truly like, that's really kind of what punt returns are. Kick returns, there's a little bit more scheme into it, but still it's wide open. Like, bro, go make a play, you know? And so for me, returning punts and kicks was like, that was the true Reggie, true freedom of expression, right? Of where I got to just go out and be a complete artist and, you know, paint the canvas up and, you know, make something great happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I truly felt like most at peace when I was returning punts.
Man, you was out there Picasso in that thing.
When we watched the Fresno State highlight tape, first question I asked Robert was, did Reggie ever run track? Because your running technique is like a peak Olympian running technique. So did you ever run track?
I did. I was a big track and field guy, and you know, it didn't start for me till late. Actually, it started in high school.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I didn't start track until 9th grade.
Okay.
But once it's actually funny. I started running track because I wanted to keep my speed up and get faster for football. Mm-hmm. And then once I started to learn more about the sport, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the competition. I fell in love with just being out there by yourself, having to race a bunch of other people. I ran the 4x4 relay. I did the 4x1 relay. Yeah, 4x4 was
a beast.
To this day, I have never been more nervous in my life than standing out there as an anchor for the 4x4 relay when the entire track meet is over. Everybody's just watching this last event. It usually comes down to points for the team to win, and you gotta have it, right? And it's like, you know, it's
started rumbling a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I've never been more nervous in my life. I'm just like, you know, looking around and you waiting, people are cheering. You know, so that was, for me, running track was everything for my career. And when kids ask me, how do I get faster? I tell them, go run track. Go run track, because that will help you to become an explosive athlete. Football is going to help you, your all-around game.
Yes.
But if you want to be an explosive athlete, you need to go run track. You need to do some A skips, some B skips, some 150s, you know what I mean? All these different things. And it's how I train my kids now. So literally yesterday, I took both my boys out because we play flag football. So they're in a flag football team together. Okay. And I trained them on the football field, but we were doing track workouts. So we were doing A skips, B skips, bounding, bunny hops, you know, all these different things that are going to help their hip flexors, right? Because really what I really learned is track and field athletes have some of the strongest hip flexors in the world. And that's where the true speed comes from, is in those hip flexors. You know what I mean? And if you strengthen those and you strengthen those, you know, to the point to where, you know, they're extremely strong, you're gonna be fast. You know, and so that's how I train my kids now. I train them with track and field workouts, you know, preparing for football. Yeah,
I was gonna say, didn't somebody famous say the hips don't lie?
Hips, hips don't lie.
The hips don't lie. That goes for track.
You either got the wiggle or you don't. You
either got the wiggle and the jiggle or you don't.
And Reggie knows something about both track and dancing because his wife is a professional ballroom dancer.
There you go.
That's the real athlete in the family right there. All right, it's just like you. I'm the secondary athlete in the family, just like you. All right,
my wife. Episode 2 with Reggie and his wife.
When you look at, we have a trophy. wall in our house, when you walk upstairs, on the left is my wife's trophies. On the right, my trophies. She got way more trophies than me. Way more trophies than me.
Break-in came for your wife.
That's probably what it was. Probably what it was. She got way more trophies than me, man. But yeah, she competed all around the world. She competed for the U.S. She won nationals for the U.S. I mean, she's a true athlete, and she's actually practicing right now. She's getting ready for a show.
Oh, wow.
So she's at dance rehearsals right now. And, you know, she's a beast, man. I love her to death. She also boxes as well.
I've seen some of her boxing videos.
She got hands.
She don't just box.
Yeah.
I would not get it. No,
She got hands?
Oh, she got hands.
She got hands.
Oh, she got hands.
And I can't lie. Because
I would not get in an argument with her.
everybody says that. I don't know why. And I'm just playing.
No, that was impressive.
It's nothing sexier than going into that boxing because I box too as well.
Okay.
And I'm in there with my wife, and she could throw hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just like, oh my God, little punches here and there, and little taps here. No, she throwing them hooks,
throwing them bangs,
jabs, overhand rights.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like to the body, like bro, she could really throw hands, and she got footwork.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, see, Instagram doesn't let me play the videos anymore.
Why not?
They don't play. None of them play. Yesterday I played. Hold on,
it could be the
Wi-Fi.
It could be
no.
Somebody's got a Wi-Fi blocker in here. Who is it?
Could be the Wi-Fi.
Okay, it's not working.
We'll watch it afterwards.
It hasn't worked since yesterday.
That video was working.
Wait.
Yeah, but some of them don't.
Did you update your phone?
No.
That's
why.
Okay, so I just dealt with this same exact. That's why I know it's what it is. You didn't update your phone, all right? So literally a week ago, my Instagram was going crazy. I'm like, I log in and it kicks me out. Log in, I'm like, what the hell? So I started having people reach out to Instagram tech support. And then I saw the update pop up. I was like, that's what it is.
And there's a new phone coming out
perfect
soon, right?
Yeah.
So
they know what they're doing.
Oh, they know.
Oh, they know what they're doing. Is that the new one? Yeah.
You got the new one already?
Yeah. I'm about 2 phones behind you, bro. I'm on like iPhone 13 or 14. I can't keep up.
So we're gonna watch Wifey throw hands.
Yes.
But for you, speed was, it was one of the, obviously you had the wiggle, but you were talking about Barry Sanders being inspiration.
Yeah.
The one, no one can shake like Barry.
Yep.
But you did have some of that shake.
Yes.
But you had more speed than Barry did, and Barry was fast.
Yep.
But for you, in your prime, could you beat Tyreek Hill in a race?
Ooh.
No, come on.
So I ran, let me say this, in the 100, I ran a 10.39.
Okay.
So that was my fastest.
Okay.
In the 100. I know Tyreek ran track too. I think he's like around 10.2.
Yep.
Something like that.
Legal.
I ran a 4.3 flat in the 40.
Ooh.
So what Tyreek ran in the 40? It was like a 4.3.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
We gotta look it up. Let's look it up. If y'all can look it up real quick, Tyreek Hill's 40 time. But I believe I would have gave Tyreek a run for his money because I had the explosive first step.
Yes, you did.
I had the breakaway speed.
This is a fact.
And I had
4.29. 4.29
for Tyreek.
I was a 4.3 flat.
It's a tie.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go.
I don't think people know the difference between 4.29 and 4.3 flat.
There is.
Bro, it's literally it's like what's the name won by?
That right there.
Noah Lyles won by.
Exactly.
Yep.
It would be a Noah Lyles
just like
100.
that. It was like a Noah Lyles 100 right there.
Oh my goodness.
Barely won that thing, barely edged them out, but again, like I never been caught from behind.
Yeah.
Ever. So that was always my one thing is like, okay, check that off the box. Never been caught from behind in my career, and always had open field speed. Always had that stop and go and that step back.
Do your knees hurt right now? Like, because the first thing I watched at the Fresno State game when what's it called? Drop
the
back?
Step back run.
There you go. All my good things with my knees. I was like, my knees are hurting watching that. Like, how are your knees at?
Well, I've had a number of injuries. I've torn my PCL at my second year in the league, and then I tore my medial meniscus third year in the league, and ended up having microfracture surgery. And then when I was at the 49ers for a brief cup of coffee, I tore my LCL when I got pushed on the St. Louis Rams concrete and tore that. And so I've had a number of injuries to this left knee.
Wow. You've torn everything but your ACL.
But my ACL. Everything
Lucky.
but my ACL.
Which one was the worst one for you? The LCL? Was that the worst one in your opinion?
Man, it was all bad. Like they all, I think that, no, the microfracture medial meniscus was by far the worst because that was a year-long recovery.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, it was rough. I just, the doctors told me I had probably 3 years left in my career. And this was like year 4. And I'm like, what? No, this is year 3. Sorry. This is year 3.
Wow.
And doctors are like, you have a lot of wear and tear, and you probably got about like max 3 years. So I ended up playing 11 years total. Wow. So, you know, obviously I beat, you know, whatever they set for me. But as of sitting here right now, I have no knee pain. I actually feel like I'm in great shape right now. I run, but I do run. When I run on a treadmill, I run at an incline.
Okay.
And so it takes a little bit of the pressure off of the knee. But I do eventually run a few sprints with it on a flat surface. But I have modified my workouts, you know, to save my knee and to not continue to, you know, to beat it up because I golf a lot.
Yeah.
I box a lot. You know, I'm active with my kids. I'm coaching, and I'm staying in shape. And so one of the things that I've learned. You have knee pain?
Yeah, I don't have knee pain, but
you had some injuries though.
I had some injuries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had some injuries.
What did you have? Yeah, torn ACL. I know. I remember.
Torn ACL twice, torn LCL, and then also medial meniscus.
All on the same leg?
All on the same knee. Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Are you bow-legged?
I am bow-legged.
In that leg?
And I'm bow-legged in that leg, but I was bow-legged before.
Aha. So here's one thing that you know, that I kind of learned, you know, just going through all of this stuff is that I'm very bow-legged in this left leg. Let me show you real quick. Hold up.
Okay, show us.
See it pretty good though.
Oh yeah.
You see that left leg?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, yep. Nice quads, by the way.
your knees are all.
Where I come from, all the fastest dudes is bow-legged.
Bow-legged.
All the fast guys bow-legged. Where I come from.
They used to call me crazy legs back in the day.
But all my injuries were to that same leg.
Right.
And so years after I finished playing, I went and got my legs measured because I was having a lot of knee pain. I couldn't walk 18 holes when I would golf. I was excruciating pain. This was like during the COVID pandemic years when it first started. I was in so much pain. I was depressed because I couldn't be myself.
Right.
I was wearing knee sleeves over knee sleeves. And then I was icing 2-3 times a day. And so I started doing some research because I went to a doctor and the doctor's like, yep, you need knee replacement. Ooh. And I was like, F that. I'm not, that's last resort for me. I'm not going the knee replacement route. I had a bunch of teammates that have already done it. And I'm not ready for that yet. I was like 36, 37 at this time. Knee replacements don't work well for young people.
Correct.
Because you're going to wear it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you're going to be on the shelf for another one pretty soon. And so I was very stubborn. I was like, let me go and just try to fix myself. And so I started doing research, and I started wearing these shoe insoles from Victory. Okay. Victory insoles. They have carbon fiber insoles that I wear right now. I got them on my feet right now. I pull them out and show you, but it's carbon fiber, right? And then it's so what that does is they gave me a little lift on the left side because this leg is actually a little bit shorter than this leg.
Okay.
And so over the years from the injuries, atrophy you go through sometimes and things like that. And so this leg is like a little bit shorter. And so I wear a lift in my insole on this leg, which basically balances out my walk. Now when my feet hit the ground, they hit the ground at the same time, right? And so that helped me, but that wasn't the fix. Then the other thing I started doing was these tibialis raises, toe raises.
Yeah. Okay.
And what I learned over time is that this muscle right here, you can't directly strengthen your knee, but you can strengthen the muscles to the knee.
Correct.
And so when I started, and this is machine, I'll show it to you. It's basically you sit there, it's on the edge of your feet, and you're just basically doing these reverse toe raises, right? That little exercise has taken away all the pain in my knee. Wow. Just doing that little exercise with the weight on there. And that is strengthen this area here, which ultimately strengthens my knee, right, and keeps me from having knee pain. And so that is part of my little secret, you know, to keeping my knee healthy and keeping my knee strong. And it's funny because I actually fell off from doing them for like a few weeks and my knee started hurting again. I started getting knee pain. I was like, damn, okay, let me get back on these tibialis raises. This week, All right. Starting from, what are we in? Thursday?
Yeah.
So I would say starting on Sunday, I started doing them again pretty heavy. No knee pain.
Wow.
And so there's a direct just relationship between this muscle right here and your knees. And so what a lot of people don't know is because a lot of people aren't really educated like that, you know, on their bodies. We are, because we're athletes, and we know we've been through the injuries. We know what our body needs, but the average person who's going through this knee pain may not understand that. And so what they do is they go to a doctor. Doc, I got this pain in my knee, man. I need it. What do? Doc gives you prescription pills, or he tells you need to get surgery. And when you get the surgery, it doesn't fix the root cause of the issue, right? All it does is just mask it or put a Band-Aid over it. And so, you know, that was something for me, just a little small, you know, educational tip for people. If you want to cure some of that knee pain, do reverse toe raises with weight on your toes. And strengthening this muscle here will directly strengthen your knees. Wow. And so that's how I kind of...
learning a lot today.
No, I mean, this is a great...
That's how I kind of have helped and self-healed, you know, myself, you know, without having to go the doctor route, without having to get knee replacement surgery, and this was the #2 doctor in the world for knee replacement. And he was telling me, yeah, you need to get knee replacement surgery.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah, I mean, I'm glad you avoided that.
Yeah,
you're right, because if you get that knee replacement, from what I've been told,
that's
like, you know,
no going back.
People at like 50, 60 aren't doing what us at 30, 40 years old are doing, or at least want to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just gave one hell of a promo.
Yeah, man. It's just
that soul.
Victory.
Victory insoles, man. Let me just show y'all real quick. Let me show you, because you know I've been rocking with them, and they really saved my knee. I swear to God, and it's really just helped me a lot. But if you look up Team Victory on Instagram, carbon fiber. Mine's a little dirty, all right, because I wear it. Carbon fiber insoles. Oh. So if you take the insole out of your shoe right now, it's a little piece of paper, a little floppy piece of paper. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
So
I'm sorry.
That's all the cushion and support you're getting in your shoe. Okay. Right? And so if you're running and you're planting and you're cutting and doing all these things, well, then you definitely need something like this, right? If you're active. But even if you're just walking, right? Because we walk all the time, and that over time applies force to your knees. Right. You still need these, bro. And so I can't even tell you how important this has been to just my overall health, you know, from my body. So I'm gonna connect you with the guy. So
I love that. You need it. You got to connect me now.
Talking about the injuries. Which NFL player has hit you so hard that you had to like check on your soul if it's still there?
All right. Okay. So it was Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. Playing in the playoffs. This is my rookie year. And it's the divisional game. It's the game before the NFC Championship. And before the divisional round. And we're running spacing. Okay. Usually in spacing, when the linebacker blitzes off the edge, the running back is hot. Hot route. Right? Yep. Hot route. You already know.
I know. Yes, sir.
So this particular play, they ran a zone blitz. So the corner sat and waited.
Off after the pressure.
Linebacker blitzed. Yep. Usually the corner will run with that X receiver, right?
Was it slant spacing?
Yeah, slant spacing. So the corner didn't run with him though. He stayed there.
I know where this is
going. You already know. So Drew sees a hot guy right away. I see him. I'm up here like this for the ball.
Oh boy.
Drew lobs it over the guy's head. Pow! I'm completely and you can look it up right now if you want on YouTube. Just look it up on YouTube. Go to YouTube. All right. Type in Reggie Bush jacked up. Reggie Bush jacked up. That's all you got to type in. Reggie Bush jacked up.
How many times have you looked at it that you know that?
Oh man, we didn't. My kids have seen it. They cried over it.
That's literally God. Reggie Bush gets jacked up.
I told you. There it is.
This is back when you could still hit like that.
Yes.
Okay, you can't hit like that.
Oh, if somebody got hit like that right now,
they'd be in jail.
Yeah, they'd be in jail. Fine, suspended, you know, something like that. I'm surprised y'all ain't seen this. Wait for the reaction.
Don't do it, Drew.
Wait for the reaction.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, bro.
I can see your soul.
Oh, you're getting up though.
Oh, you got up?
No, I got up and I went back down.
He went right back down.
Oh my God.
What were you feeling in that moment when you got up? You was like, I'm good.
Death.
Slow motion.
I was feeling death.
Oh.
The worst part is the ball. Like when he hits you and the ball flies, it's like your soul went with it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you have a talk with Drew after that one?
Oh yeah, no. I had man-to-man discussion with Drew. 2 plays later. All right. Now I didn't even wait till after the game. I was like, nah, listen up, Drew. All right. Don't do that shit again. You understand me? I can't handle no more of them. That was a grenade. I got hit with a grenade.
Yo, he hit you so
Bro, that's a cannonball. I got hit with a...
You can't breathe anymore. Like, that's a straight...
I couldn't. So let me explain to you. I'm glad you said that.
I'm sorry. I can't breathe right now. He hit him so hard.
He hit me so hard that...
Who was that? Who hit you?
Sheldon Brown? Yeah.
Sheldon Brown?
Sheldon Brown.
Sheldon Brown, okay.
He hit me so hard that when I landed on the ground... It hadn't registered to my brain yet that there was no oxygen inside my stomach. So I hopped back up like you just saw. Yeah. He's like, oh, he got back up though? But he went back down.
And then started bear crawling.
I'm crawling for air though. I'm crawling looking for air, all right?
So bad.
In that moment, I'm like, where's the air? It's over there? I gotta go get it. Let me go get the air over there. It's over there? Like, I can't fucking breathe right now.
Oh my God.
It was one of the, to your point, one of the hardest hits I've ever experienced. I will never forget it. I never want my kids to have to go through it.
Oh my God.
I'm like, listen, son, keep playing basketball, keep shooting them hoops. You know what I'm saying? Work on that jump shot, because not everybody can survive that right there.
No.
Like that was a full speed car crash.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Oh man.
And
we're not.
I got destroyed. And again, like this was a real moment. Like when I'm crawling, it's getting hazy in my eyes because I can't breathe. And so now you ever not been able to get your wind knocked out of you? You feel like you're gonna die. It literally feels like death. And so I'm crawling, it's getting hazy, I can't breathe, and I'm like, all right, this is it right here. I'm about to go right here on the football field. I'm about to die right here. This is where I'm going. This is it. Like, this is what I asked for. I'm out. But, it was one of those plays where, again, you just never forget it.
Right.
Never forget how that hit felt. Thank God I never got hit like that again, ever.
Yeah.
Again. And, Drew was very apologetic afterwards.
I mean, how could he not? I mean, we all saw that. Oh my goodness.
Drew was luckily, I was a rookie. So, when you're a rookie, you could take hits like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If I was at the end of my career,
it might have been.
That would have ended my career.
I got you. So staying there for a second.
Yeah.
Because we want to get into the NIL part of this, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at Tua and you see what's happened to Tua.
Yeah.
And the concussions, I think he's got 3. He's got 3 registered, but 4 or 5 instances of some head things that have happened to him, brain injury type things. Do you think that he should retire at this point in his career?
I think he should definitely consider it, and I'm not Tua to make this decision for him, but he's got to be smart because as much as we love football and it's hard, there's also always, there's always other factors that can be more important at that time period. And, the thing about the NFL is we don't know. We don't know how our body's going to react to certain hits, right? Like that hit y'all just saw, that could have put somebody else out completely. Completely out. And so you just never know how your body's going to respond until you get into that situation. I've had multiple concussions. I've had also multiple, what we call getting your bell rung, which is basically just a mild concussion.
It's still a concussion.
Still a concussion. Yeah. You're standing up and you're not out of it. But those are dangerous.
Yeah.
And, CTE is a real thing.
Yep.
And the brain, can only handle so much, right? We can work our bodies to be the strongest people in the world, but you can't strengthen your brain to take those kind of hits and that kind of punishment. And so I think Tua should definitely consider it because the concussions I saw were bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
And this last one, I got to be honest with you, wasn't even a bad hit.
Routine hit.
It was a routine tackle. what's his name? The guy that hit him?
DeMar Hamlin.
DeMar Hamlin didn't even really lay his helmet into it. He kind of hit him in the chest, and caught him and fell back like that, right? And so one of the things that Tua did wrong on that play was he turned his head to the side.
Yes.
Okay, so when you are going to initiate contact and make contact with somebody who's coming from the right or the left, you never turn your head with the hit, because if you do that, you can open yourself up for a concussion. Correct. Which is exactly what happened.
Correct.
And so, obviously he's a quarterback. He's not a running back. Running backs understand these things on a different level.
Yep.
But it was a routine tackle.
Yeah.
And so if you're getting concussions with routine tackles, then we gotta start to look at other factors and whether you should continue to play. I think he should definitely be out for a period of time, most of the season this year, if not all of the season. And he needs to make some real life decisions.
I firmly believe that the decision is his and his only. Me and you both know players that have made decisions to play despite injury. Despite injury.
That's football.
Despite knowing that they have a concussion. And I know linebackers that would play 3-4 games when they got concussions in every single game. If you see spots, you have a concussion. Getting your bell rung is a concussion.
It's a concussion. You're just not out of it.
You're just not out of it.
Yeah, but you are concussed.
So I agree. I think he should consider it.
Yeah.
I think him and his family should make that decision.
Yeah, him and his family need to make that.
But I'm not going to tell him one way or the other he should or shouldn't.
Yeah. It's got to be him and his family, and then it's got to be him and the organization.
Yes.
Because they also have a vested interest, right, to protect him.
Yes.
And to make sure that he's okay and not throw him back out there just because you want to win some football games.
I agree.
Or because you want to, see those deep passes to Tyreek Hill. Right? That's not the way it works. Unfortunately in football, we are asked to play through pain, play through injury all the time. This is very different from basketball and any other sports where, you get a sprained ankle and you're out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play through broken bones in football. And the quarterback position is one of the toughest positions. For a very long time, quarterbacks was getting destroyed before they changed the rules.
Was getting hit like you got hit on that old.
Bruh, was getting decapitated. Like, you would see quarterbacks literally get just destroyed. And you're like, damn, how are you going to get up from that? And so they have done a better job at going to protect the quarterbacks more with the rules. But when you're still suffering injuries like that, brain trauma like that, you got to take it into consideration.
Yeah. So did you have a question on that?
No, moving on to NIL.
Yeah, because we will get into that, and we know you got to go to your daughter's tennis match, which we respect, right? We getting home tonight too, so we can go play some tennis with our kids.
Reggie Bush has sued everybody and their mama this year.
So you sued the NCAA. That was what, 2023? Was that, or that this year?
Yeah, that was last year.
Last year for defamation, or was that earlier this year? It
was earlier this year.
Earlier this year for defamation.
Yeah, that was earlier this year.
And then you sued the Pac-12, USC, and NCAA on a separate NIL antitrust deal.
Lawsuit.
Why have you sued everyone and their mama? We want to know. Give it to us raw.
This is just a business dispute, man. That's all it is. It's just a business dispute. You know what I mean? And
Stop it. I'm sorry.
The world has changed.
Yeah.
On their views on NIL and these different things. But one thing has always been true. We have always owned our NIL.
Yes.
Always. Right? Only in college football we were told that you don't have your NIL and you're not allowed to go monetize off of it. And that's obviously illegal, right? And that's what the Supreme Court ruling was over, 9-0, where the NCAA's business model has basically been blown up. Yep. And it's illegal to strip someone of their NIL, of their basic human rights. And so, for me, it's more about a business dispute. I believe one thing, y'all believe another thing, and then we'll figure this out one way or another. But, for me, it's also about the truth. Because people still don't know the truth. Yeah. I have my Heisman Trophy back. I'm in the College Football Hall of Fame. but I'm still technically not reinstated by the NCAA.
Oh, wow.
So I'm in the Hall of Fame with no stats. So
That's
yeah,
impressive.
go figure.
Super impressive.
Go figure.
Hella impressive.
And our 2004 national championship was stripped from us as well, which we still don't have back.
No way.
Yes,
I
way.
know that.
So I'm still fighting for a lot.
Yeah.
And people think that, oh, he got his trophy back, it's all over. Like, no, this is actually getting the trophy back was just the beginning. And that's what I have been saying for a very long time. This is only the beginning of what's to come. And so, you know, again, we deserve and we should have never had our national championship ever taken away from us. I should have never had my Heisman Trophy taken away from me. But yet here we are.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is a situation that, you know, was not created by me, but I have a vested interest to fix it. And to me, it's about the truth, about getting the truth out there, the truth of what people don't know about me and about what actually truthfully happened behind closed doors, behind the scenes. And so that's all this is, man. It's, you know, it's again, like I said, the two lawsuits are completely different. One's a defamation of character lawsuit.
Correct.
The NCAA, a few years ago, released a statement about me basically alleging that I was paid to play. The issue with that statement is that they never proved that. And they never came with any facts to show that. And so it's a lie.
Right.
And so if you're going to die on that hill, well, then we're going to have to handle this in court because you also said at a time period when I was a college football analyst,
Yep.
my reputation is everything to me.
That's true.
I worked very hard to build my name up, to become one of the greatest, you know, one of the greatest players.
Yes,
I worked my ass off day in and day out. On and off the field, right? Not just on the football field, but also in the community. You're doing community service, different things like that. And so to have, you know, an organization like that continue to slander my name and to try to kick me while I'm down, and also to just not tell the truth,
right,
was very disheartening to see that and to see their response that they weren't going to do the right thing.
Right.
So if you're not going to do the right thing, well, then we're going to have to handle this the right way. Okay. And that's kind of, you know, where we are right now. I'm very excited to, you know, get these out of the way and get these two lawsuits, you know, taken care of. But, you know, I got none but time.
So I have a feeling that it's weighed on you for a long time.
Yeah.
People maybe sharing stories that aren't true. That
Absolutely.
are false.
It was not even people sharing stories. It was the fact that I was labeled a cheater. How did I cheat?
Right.
I've never cheated a day in my life. Did I somehow pay the refs, or did I try to influence the game somehow to where it swayed in my favor or in my team's favor? Or I've never done anything like that. I've never popped for a steroid test or any kind of drug test, nothing. And so where's the cheating?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just unfortunate that the NCAA has tried to die on this hill, labeling me as paid to play, and here they are paying players. And they had the recent lawsuit settlement for $2.8 billion. For a revenue split for college football and basketball players. So what that means is now college football and basketball players will be employees of the university.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and it should have always been like that, honestly. It really should have, you know, because we should have always been able to monetize off of our own name, image, and likeness on a free market.
Yep.
And not be stripped of that. And so that's kind of, you know, what the defamation of character lawsuit is about. And like I said, the second one is more about antitrust.
Yeah.
So.
You're talking about how the NCAA, you know, won't take or do what's right?
Yeah.
But do you feel like the media treated you right?
Nope. Not at all. You know, in that time period, the media was part of the reason why the story became as big as it did, and why it, you know, became as big of a fire as it did, because, you know, the media only was interested in, oh, well, what did he get? You know, what was his parents doing? Or what was he getting? Or he got this money, he got that much money. And we're sitting there like, where are all these things coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are all these accusations coming from? Because it's not true. It's literally not true. And the fact that I'm now being labeled as something, and I got to go into different NFL stadiums,
yep,
and everybody's yelling cheater to me, you know, it's not right. And I was 19, 20 years old at this time. You know, I was still a baby, you know, so I didn't know how to defend myself. You know, when you're that young and you're still trying to make it, you're still trying to get to that next level, you know, your reputation is everything.
No doubt about
it. You know, and I worked my ass off to build my reputation up as one of the hardest workers and as one of the greatest, you know, one of the best players.
Yep.
And so again, you know, it was tough for me to have to deal with all of that, you know, as a 19, 20-year-old kid, you know, and it's something that I would never want my kids to ever have to go through. My kids will never, ever have to, you know, go through something like that, because they will be protected, you know, by their mom and by their dad and by the people that love them. But, you know, also at the same time, for an organization, you know, that's run by adults to point the finger and blame a young kid.
Wow.
It's like when the adults are acting like kids, then we have an issue. We have a problem. So, and
right now when you're saying this, I'm not having a kind of a deja vu, but a little bit, because being with Robert, I feel like he's gone through similar things of media completely destroying your character. Absolutely. When you know that's not who you are. Yes. And, you know, and when they put out certain stories about you, when they're first, people will always believe that.
Always believe it.
Because a lie will go around the world way faster than the truth ever will, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right. So, I mean, my question to you would be, when you hear that, what's the first thing that pops in your mind when you hear stories like that?
Yeah, it's people love to believe a lie. Yeah. They love to believe in lies. And, you know, it's unfortunate because people like to believe in the negative faster than they would believe in the positive.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's especially for football players, basketball players, but more so, I think, you know, athletes of color, people of color, right? Get a label very quick. And, you know, people like to believe in these labels. They like to see athletes fall. They like to build you up and then tear you down. Yeah. Right. And they act like your best friend 1 minute, and the next minute they stab you in the back. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's something that I experienced throughout my entire career, even to this day now. Like people come to me, oh man, you was getting paid in college, man. Oh, you was getting bread, you was getting money. No, I was not. No, I really wasn't though. Like, yeah, we was on top. Yeah, we were balling. Yeah, we were winning. But why does that have to equal me getting paid and taking all this money?
Robert Dieter, when he says that he was the man in the Baylor, and they're like, "Oh, you were getting paid." He's like, "No, I wasn't.
I definitely didn't get paid."
And it's unfortunate because there's a stigma, especially I find this true with black athletes, with black players, of where again they will just believe in that lie a lot faster. It's starting to slowly come out, right? And now the NCAA is having to walk back everything, right? Heisman Trust had to give me back my Heisman Trophy. And, you know, and so again, you have to be a fighter. Yeah. You really do. In this life, you know, it's not always going to be fair. And that's what I learned. And people aren't always going to do the right thing. And, you know, it's unfortunate, the world we live in, but as long as we believe in ourselves, and we continue to fight for the truth, right? I think there's so much power in continuing to fight for the truth. I've been fighting for the truth since 2005. Yeah, you have. And here we are, it's 2024, 20 years later. Yeah. I'm still fighting for the truth. I'm still fighting for the truth to come out, for the NCAA just to do the right thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so that's something that I realize it's not always in our control. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, in football, I tell you, control what you can control. Exactly. So you go on to the next play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love football, is because football taught me how to fight. Yeah. You know, I first learned how to fight in football. I didn't learn it from my dad. My dad wasn't around. I didn't learn it from a close family member. I learned it from football, from the men who were in my life at that time, who were positive influences in my life. My coaches in Little League, I had these two coaches, my first two coaches, Coach Keola and Coach Peely. One was Samoan, one was Hawaiian. And they demanded respect and also hard work from me. And I feel like those two coaches really set me off to a great foundation for the rest of my career. And it happened early on, right? And I learned just how to be tough, you know, early on in my life when I was actually really scared, you know, as a young kid. Because as a young kid, you know, nobody's born a tough kid. Like, unless you just, you know, really going through some real life situations, every kid is scared to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And it's not necessarily built in you. You have to learn it. And so I learned it through football. I learned how to fight through football. I learned how to dust myself off and get right back up. I learned how to have thick skin, right? I always tell you have thick skin in football. I learned all those things in football. And so, you know, all you're seeing is that's what you're seeing in me. The fighter I am has come from football. And that's the reason why I'm still fighting to this day, you know, for the truth. And I won't stop, honestly. I'm not going to stop until we get this truth out there. Yeah. And then once the truth is out, then people will have to hide their faces because all the things that they said about me, not true. You know what I'm saying? And that's where me getting back the Heisman Trophy, people told me I wasn't going to get the trophy back. Right. They said that. I never believed in them. Just as strongly as I believed I was going to win it, is the same amount of strength I believed in I would get it back. I just didn't know how long it was going to take. But I knew I've been conditioned and trained almost like a war. I've been trained as a warrior, you know what I'm saying? To go and fight and continue fighting. And that will be instilled in my kids. It's part of, you know, our family culture. Like, we are fighters. My wife is a fighter. She came from Armenia. You know, her outlet was ballroom dancing, and she didn't even have hot water and electricity back in Armenia during this time period. And so her mom left the family to come to US to get visas for the rest of the family. So she was without a mom for 3 years, and her dad worked in Russia. And so she really was at home taking care of her and her brother and sister as 11-year-old girl, cooking, cleaning, you know, doing all these domestic things when you should be out playing, you know? And so I think that's one of the reasons why me and my wife connected so much, because we're both fighters. Right. And we both just have that ability to lock in, focus, and go get what we want, no matter how long it takes. And so when I see stuff like that, man, it's unfortunate, you know, because like you said, people get to continue this lie that's not true, right? And for years and years, you're like, you still telling that lie? You still telling that story, bro? I can't wait to the day where you got to walk that back. Correct. You know what I'm saying? So you got to walk that comment back. Yeah. And I love that. I love making people have to walk back what they said. Yeah. Oh man, you my boy now? Oh, what? We cool now? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure you had to deal with that when you went to broadcasting. You had to work with people that at some point of time were saying lies about you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, and that's, you know, I actually didn't want to go into broadcasting because I was just like, these are all people that just were talking shit about me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so when I started with NFL Network, I was like, I'm just gonna stay in the NFL. And then after Thursday Night Football, when we were in the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Fox came and recruited me and was like, we want to do this college football show with you. I was like, I ain't going back to college football. Are you serious? I'm like, nah, ain't no way I'm going back to college football. After all the shit I done been through, hell no, I ain't going back. But, you know, they talked me into it. They're like, oh, we want to make you a focal point of the show. We're going to put you right in the middle. And, you know, it just sounded like a great opportunity, you know what I'm saying? And so I ended up doing that, and I'm happy I did it. But, you know, I had scars, you know, and I still have scars, you know, from college football, unfortunately, that, you know, I've had to deal with. But I also try to remember, you know, all the great memories as well, right? And so, you know, hopefully once these lawsuits are over, the full truth will be out there, and people will now know. And that's kind of like, I feel like it's been the thing I've been driving towards, is getting that truth. And it's just so happened, you know, it's going to have to come through these lawsuits. Yeah. And to hear you talk about that and your experiences, they're different, right? Especially with the lawsuits. Yeah. Because for me, and it's nothing personal. I still love my school. All right, don't get it twisted. All right. Still fight on. All right, I still love my school, my teammates, everything we did there. And I know they appreciate you saying that. This is a business dispute, right? And it's different for you because it is business. But when I see a story like that I know is false, it also affects
not just me, but my family and my business as well.
Yeah.
So you say you fight.
Yeah.
I actually scrapped an entire book that I had written because it took me to a dark place.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have to relive all the different nightmares after I'd already relived them.
Yeah.
And like try to correct every single thing that went wrong.
Can I be honest with you?
Go for it.
I love that dark place. I love it. I love going to that dark place. I swear to God, I will go into a dark room and sit in there for hours, just thinking and just working on my spirit, on whatever that thing is I really truly want, meditating on it, right? To the point to where it becomes my reality. You know what I'm saying? And that is something that I also learned in football, is how to go to that dark place. Because when you got to step on that football field, you got to go to that dark place. You're going to get your head took off.
You got to go to that dark place.
You got to, and so I'm okay living in that dark place. I'm okay going to that, to that place where, the average person can't go.
Right.
Where the average person can't thrive. They can't think. They can't focus. Because for me, that's where I do my best thinking. Right. That's where I win. Okay. Right. That's where I can truly connect with myself, is in that dark place, man. And so, I understand that you don't want to go through those scars, through those memories, but you also got to let it piss you off. You got to let it make you angry. You got to let it, give you all these feelings that we try to run away from, as men, right? We run away from pain because we're trying to be tough. Right. We run away from crying because we're trying to be tough. Correct. Right. We run away from any of the emotions that make us feel like less than a man, right? Especially for football players, right? Football players, we don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't getting sad. Like, we don't get depressed, but those are all the things that I had to experience. Right. I needed to go through it so I can fight and so I can let it affect me, truly affect me, and I can then figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so now that it's hurt you this much, what you gonna do? Right. You know what I'm saying? After when it's all said and done, what you gonna do?
So for me, the way I approach that with this situation, it's not just that. There was a whole lot that happened back then, right? I try to just be in that light place, right? That's not who I am. That's not who my family is. We're gonna live and we're gonna be better than that. But listening to you talk, it's like, all right, let's break it down. Let's go to the dark place and talk about that. I remember that game vividly. What people don't know is that I actually warmed up pregame in that Cleveland game, proved to them that I could play. They said, we're going to hold you for a week because we want you to be a little bit healthier. Yeah. Not a problem. I'm on the sideline celebrating every single time Kirk threw a touchdown. Yeah. This man went out there and threw for like almost damn near 400 yards. Okay, almost 400 yards, through I think 3 or 4 touchdowns. I'm celebrating with him on the sideline. We're looking at the pictures because back then we didn't have the iPads, right? We're looking at the pictures on the sideline. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a teammate. Yeah. So when I hear that story from Michael Silver, very well connected, very, I guess, respected in the space of NFL insiders. When he tells that story, it reminds me of when your homeboy in the hood comes back, got his ass kicked, right? Yeah. He tells you, it was 10 of them bad boys. They was beating me up. Then you find out it was one person and his 2 little siblings, and the one person beat him up. They embellished the story to try to make it sound better. So I'll tell everybody what exactly happened in that moment. Kirk balled out. Dan Snyder came to me in the locker room and asked me, hey, how are you feeling? How's your knee? Coach told me you're going to be ready to go next week. That was it. So him barreling through the locker room and stepping on Kirk Cousins and telling me, oh, you're still my guy, never happened. Bro. And I just got to say this, because for me, it's not just about the way they tell the story. I don't have an obligation to defend Dan Snyder. I don't. I don't have an obligation I do have an obligation to defend myself, but I really have an obligation to defend my family. So you hear her say, how does someone just find their way in the locker room?
That's not possible.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
In the NFL locker room, in NFL, it's not possible.
How many times have you ever seen a coach talk to a parent in the locker room and that parent tell them the things that he claimed my dad said? Not only that, my dad talked to Mike Shanahan twice. 3 times, if we're being serious. When I got drafted, he talked to him on the phone in a meeting because Mike forced me to make me call my dad because it was something way off the wall. And then as I was leaving and everybody was done.
Yeah.
My dad had been at the facility in Washington twice.
Yeah.
But yet Mike Silver is telling people my dad was heavily involved. He's lying. That's a lie. And here's what I'll say. Mike, you might be thinking you're telling the truth, but you got bad information.
Yeah.
Why do
Mike's telling the story like he witnessed it.
Like he was there.
Yes.
So he's getting
crazy.
So he's getting bad information because he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Why do NFL insiders, why are they insiders?
Because they're snitches. That's why. NFL insider is a snitch. That's exactly what they are.
NFL insiders are there to frame the story in the benefit of the team and the coach.
Yes.
It's why they last so long. If I'm doing a business and I know that the coach is going to be around for 40 years, look at the coaching trees in the NFL. These guys coach forever. These teams are always going to be there.
Just get bounced around too.
Why would I ever take the side of a player who's going to have at max a 22-year career like Tom Brady, and the average is 3 years. So when I look at that and I say, Mike Silver, I'm not trying to disrespect you, that story never happened. That story never happened. You got bad information. And he'll say, well, I can confirm it from 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9 different coaches. All those coaches are from the same coaching tree. They're all going to have each other's back. What I'm telling you is the dark place I had to go to, like you did, and when people are lying about you, what I decided was, maybe I didn't fight it at that time because I was a 22-year-old kid. But now as a 34-year-old man, the way I can fight it is just never become what they said I was. And I'm not that. And I get really upset. She saw my face when she was playing the video. Thank you for playing the video. It's because my family, and they have tried to attach my dad to that being situation. That overbearing black father. And he was never that. And he was never involved in Washington. He never asked for a play to be called. The mistake this man made was he did an interview with a local news station, and he said that he would love to see his son throw the ball.
That's not a mistake. That's not a mistake.
And you're right. It's not a mistake, but he was never involved when I was in Washington. So if you want the truth of that story, that's the truth. What Mike Silver just gave you might sound juicier and it might sound better, but it never happened.
And it's unfortunate that we get, people, I just, that's why I try to stay in my lane, bro. Honestly, I stay in my lane because I don't, and it's also why I never went to those, I never wanted to settle on those shows where, all they're doing is attacking players or when they're tearing them down, or no disrespect, but First Take is well known for attacking players and just the way the mistreatment of players. And it's like, and I don't want to hear former players attacking players. Like, bro, you was once a player. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was like to have to go through the politics of football and politics of basketball and all the things, the bullshit that you got to deal with, from team doctors lying to you and rushing you back on the football field before you're ready and you get injured again. Well, I wonder why I got injured again. Because the doctor wasn't telling the truth and he's trying to rush me out there. You know what I'm saying? And so, all those things happen, man, all the time. And it's unfortunate, but, that's why I never want to settle on those type of shows, because my spirit wouldn't allow me. You know what I'm saying? I can't fathom, just staying on a show and just attacking a guy for what he did. Now, I'll attack coaches all day. All right? Coaches gonna get it all day. All right? Because coaches got a responsibility to teach.
Correct.
Okay? It's your job to teach. All right? And if you're not a true teacher, then get out of the way, because you taking up, I don't have years to waste. And that's the thing, like, athlete, we don't have years to waste. A coach can waste 3 or 4 years.
That's true.
And then go and get paid somewhere else and be good. And sit on the fat check.
Go get another opportunity.
You know what I'm saying? Cliff Kingsbury got fired, sit on the fat check. You know what I'm saying? And
because their money's fully guaranteed, in case anyone knows that.
Guaranteed.
Coach's money is fully guaranteed.
A player, not guaranteed, and we don't have a year to waste. 1 year for a player missing would be, it would be bad. It'd be horrible. It could be catastrophic for the career. It's again, man, I just continue to fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? And continue to fight for what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean like directly having to argue with somebody.
I'm with you.
But it's like, my fight is in my success. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna win with my success, and I'm gonna win you know, and I'm gonna do it with class.
Yeah.
And so then at the end of the day, you're gonna have to look back on that and eat your words and hide your face.
Right.
And you're gonna be like, damn, like I made a mistake on what I said or how I categorized this person.
Yeah.
Well, the fight that you've put up over the last 20 years has led to all of this with NIL and the student athletes in one way, shape, or form or the other. You got
100%.
guys from 1983 suing the NCAA. You got Denard Robinson and Braylon Edwards suing the NCAA. And now we have all these things that are going on with NIL and the athletes. So before we let you get out of here, just do you think that there needs to be more widespread regulation of NIL, especially with what just happened with the UNLV quarterback?
Yeah, I saw that with the UNLV quarterback.
Where he's stepping down. Yeah. He's redshirting because they didn't pay him what they said they were going to pay him.
And that's a business dispute.
You've been saying that.
But I think there needs to be better representation for the athletes.
Okay.
The athletes need to be protected. So one way they can protect themselves is to unionize.
That's true.
Right?
They need to.
Right now, there is no union. So if there's no union, then it's just kind of open to
willy-nilly out there.
Yeah, it's a wild, wild west. And, you know, the players need to be protected at the end of the day. And so that's why the Supreme Court ruling was so big.
Yep.
And then the most recent settlement, $2.8 billion for revenue split sharing, was big as well, because that gets them one step closer to unionization.
That's true.
And that's the one thing that the NCAA and these universities have been deathly afraid of.
Yes.
Is players being able to unionize and being able to now collectively bargain for, you know, fair compensation, work conditions, like all these different things, right? But it's just, you know, up until this point, there hasn't been that, you know? And so I think we're getting closer to that. But that's one way, you know, if I could give advice to the current players right now, find a way to unionize, because that's the only way you're going to truly get, you know, what you deserve. If the NFL didn't have a union, I mean, it'd be bad. Yeah,
I mean, it's already kind of bad, but it'd be bad.
Yeah, it'd be
I want to make sure everybody listens, obviously, because Reggie, you like I said, you sparked this whether you did it on purpose or not because of your situation. Yeah. But when they do unionize, and I believe they will, the number one thing they need is that 50-50 split on revenue. Yeah, the NFL is 47, I believe. The NBA is somewhere between 49 to 51. Yeah. It should be 50-50 because there is no, in my opinion, there is no USC without the likes of Reggie Bush. Your brand and what you brought to the university helped USC become even more of the powerhouse that it is. When I think of big time schools, and I think of USC, and I think of Alabama, Baylor, right? I don't ever think of the coach. Yeah. Maybe Saban. Yeah. With Alabama. Yeah. But most of these schools, you don't think of who the coach was. Yeah. You think of who the players were. And that's who those are the players, their backs that were built all these brands off of. So they need to make sure they go and attack that.
Yeah, players play and coaches coach. And it will always be true. Fans come to the stadiums, to the games to watch the players, to watch them perform. People are going to Alabama games to watch that D-line get after the quarterback. They're not going there to watch Nick Saban coach. They're going there to watch the quarterback spin the football, dissect the secondary, watch the running back, you know, run through the line, score touchdowns, and the D-line, like I said. But, you know, players play and coaches coach, and it will always be like that. The players are the entertainment on the football field, and so those are the ones that need to be protected the most. And unfortunately, in football, it's backwards. Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of other reasons why we won't get into that. That's a whole nother subject.
I'm with you. That's episode 2. Yeah, that's episode 2. We sit down with you and wifey. I wanted you to show some love to one of your teammates from USC. Yeah. Before you bounce, we do a segment on Out of Pocket called Unsung Heroes. Who was the unsung hero of y'all's national championship team? Either one of them.
Unsung hero? Like one person?
One person that just didn't get the love that they deserved.
I feel like everybody got the love they deserved. I mean, we was hot, bro. Like we was the best team. Like everybody was getting the shine, and you know, and the love. We obviously just, you know, we didn't have our NIL, but you know, as far as like, you know, guys who, you know, maybe didn't get the publicity. I feel like we all got it, you know, because of, you know, how great we played, the things that we were able to accomplish, winning on the football field. You know, winning brings a lot of attention. That's right. It brings a ton of attention. And so, you know, everybody on our team, and we had 5-star backups. Yeah. Like our backups were 5-star players.
That is very true.
So it was as great of a team that you can put together. Mm-hmm. And we'll never see a team like that ever again.
Never.
Because NIL there's no reason for you to go sit and be a second stream, third stream anymore. If you're a 5-star or 4-star player, you go and play right now.
Yeah.
And that would be my advice. Go and play right now.
There's no substitute.
Don't go and sit and wait. Like, go get film on you right now. You need the reps more than, you know, just sitting behind somebody. But
no,
I don't really have an unsung hero on our team, because I feel like, you know, we always was getting the right.
I can appreciate that answer. I will tell you this: you certainly got the love, right? Yeah. Got a lot of love. Yeah, everybody loved Reggie Bush. You know what I'm saying? But I think you're an unsung hero in a different sense. All right. Mm-hmm. This thing called the Bush push. All right. I think it is single-handedly responsible.
Give me my credit
for the tush push.
Give me my credit.
It's 100%. The Bush push was the precursor to the tush push.
When they say tush push, I cringe. No, I swear.
Me too.
That don't even sound manly. The tush push.
They tried to call it the brotherly shove.
How is that even a real? I can't believe announcers actually say it though.
Yeah. No, they say it.
I can't believe they
glee in their voice.
Yes.
Oh, it was a tush push. Oh my goodness, another one.
You cannot be serious. Really feeling like you should be saying that on TV, like about a football game. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think a lot of great moments, right? A lot of things, they happen not by design, but just out of pure nature of the result of what's happening on that field, right? And so the Bush push was the result of us trying to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And me just being a fighter, right? And relentless of, I don't care what I got to do. If I got to push Matt over his end zone, if I got to kick him over the end zone, if I got to pick him up and walk him over this touchdown line, we're going to score this touchdown, you know? And that's the brotherhood, right? That's the culture that we created at USC. Pete Carroll did a great job, like I said. Our players bought in, and everybody really did a great job at building that team to where we felt like we were true brothers. Yeah. And to this day, all those guys on my team, I still have nothing but respect for them. I'm still friendly with all of them. All of them. Still friendly with all of them.
Manhattan Beach's favorite TikTok.
Yeah. And now Matt Liner is TikTok social media like.
I see you, Matt.
But yeah, man, it's, you know, again, the Heisman Trophy family, that's a brotherhood. Your teams that you play on, that's a brotherhood. The teams that you win on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never forget those moments, because those are different human beings coming together. And football is what the world should look like, right? Like a melting pot of different cultures, different races, people from different religions, different everything, and coming together and saying, nah, I got you.
I got your back.
I got your back.
I got your back.
We're gonna go out here and we're gonna do this together. And those are some of my closest brothers to this day.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Last question I got for you. I see the cross on your knuckle there. What role has faith? I don't like to call it religion, because I believe it's a relationship with God.
Yeah, I don't like to call it religion either.
What role has faith played in your life? How much has God helped guide you through all this stuff, and what does he mean to you?
It has been everything, honestly. I was raised in the church. My mom had us in church every Sunday, and you know, it really instilled in me, you know, how to follow your spirit, how to have faith, you know, what it should look like, you know, and just listening to all those stories from the Bible and just different things that, you know, you hear about in these Bible stories of just different ways people show faith, whether it's David or Goliath, or, you know, just different things like that, right? And just learning that as a young kid never left me. And I thank my mom so much for instilling that in me, because even in the times where I wavered, right? Any times where I wavered and, you know, I forgot about, you know, God, I always came back to him though. You know what I'm saying? And my spirit always felt at some point like, no, we got to go back. You know what I'm saying? We got to go back to that, because that's where you need to be. And that's where you're going to be protected, and that's going to give you a strong foundation for life. And I've had to use my faith, all the time. The Heisman Trophy is one case, but there's been many other cases, and instances where I've had to just be faithful to God's purpose and his plan.
Right.
I guess a great example is the draft, right?
Yeah.
Having the faith that going to New Orleans at that time period, 5 months after Katrina, was the right decision.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it did not look glorious. I promise you. It looked very rough. It was very foreign. It was chaotic. But, that's where God does his best work. Yeah. Yes. In the chaos. And, that's the thing that we always run away from as well. It's like we run away from the pain. Like I said, we run away from those things that, make us feel bad or hurt us. And, that's where God is trying to use you. Yeah. He's trying to use you in the pain. He's trying to use you. He's trying to use those moments to help you grow and to become stronger. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, that was something that I was very appreciative of, man, and always indebted to my mom for, because she taught us the right way. Yeah. And it has been with me, ever since. And now that I have a family and kids, it's the first and last thing I talk about, with my kids. When they wake up in the morning, my daughter actually goes to a Christian private school now, which I'm very proud of. Okay. She actually has Bible study as part of like one of her classes. That's awesome. So she came home the other day and she was singing, they learned this song where she's singing all the chapters in the Bible. Okay. So she's learning all the chapters in the Bible, but it's you're gonna need it at some point. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And you guys know that, especially as husband and wife, you're gonna need that faith. No and it doesn't have to be big faith either. It's just, what does it say in the Bible? It's faith the size of a mustard seed. Preach now. That's it, man. That's all you need.
Push the preacher. I like it. Okay.
That's it.
Last thing, you just described to me, at least when I was hearing you talk, you going to New Orleans, right, which is where my family is from. Mm-hmm. I still claim New Orleans. Yep. Out of respect, I do say I'm from Copper's Cove, because that's where I went first through 12. Yeah. But you going to New Orleans was your Jonah and the well story. Yep. Yep. Right. In the Bible, God told Jonah to go to Nineveh. He said, I'm not going there. Go to Joppa. Right.
And here's the thing. We said we didn't want to go. We told him we didn't want to go to New Orleans.
We didn't want to go. We don't want to go there.
God had a plan.
God had a plan. And you going to New Orleans and touring the Ninth Ward and being able to bring a Super Bowl there. Mm-hmm. That was your Jonah and the well story. And you came out of that gloriously. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing you come out on the other side of all these lawsuits and get the truth out there like you talked about. We appreciate you coming on the show and having a good time, man. This is absolutely awesome.
Hold on. I know this is a very wholesome way to end this whole thing, and I'm about to totally ruin it for everybody.
Never ruin it, baby. Never.
Okay. You are a legend, right? Especially a legend in California. Yeah. You ever been to a Diddy party?
Nope.
Thank God.
Nope, not one.
Don't lie now. You are the most popular man in LA.
Listen.
Have you ever been invited?
Most popular man in LA.
I have been invited.
Oh, why'd you say no?
I have been invited. Okay. I just didn't make it over there. Like, we just didn't go. You know what I'm saying? But
that's good.
I do remember this. Hold on. Let me tell this one story. All right. Well, I was in Miami for a music festival, and I was sponsored by Red Bull at this time. Okay. And my rep from Red Bull, the main guy who was with me at the time, I was with a group of people, and Diddy lives on Star Island. And I have a friend who has a house across from Diddy's crib. Oh. And so we were going to my boy's house, and Diddy was throwing a party. Oh boy. Right? At his house.
Baby oil was flying everywhere.
And my homeboy, my rep from Red Bull was so drunk and wasted, he threw up on Diddy's lawn on the front. I swear to God. To this day, I was so embarrassed. Because we were about to walk into the party, and he just like everywhere, all over the lawn. It's people outside, people trying to get in. Oh wow! And I'm standing with this guy, and they looking at me like, "Why you bring him?" You know what I'm saying? And it's late. It's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he threw up in his line, and we just left.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
I can't even be seen over here no more, bro. You just ruined my whole reputation. So that was the one and only that I almost went to, but
hey, him throwing up just saved you from
saved you from the FBI. Okay, saved you from all these allegations.
That story to this day is so funny, bro, because he was blacked out drunk, and you know, listen, we all been there before. I've been there before. I've been blacked out drunk before. But man, when you see it firsthand like that, and it happens, and you at like somebody's. It was a nice house, by the way. The house
sure,
was nice,
it was fabulous.
But you throwing up on somebody's front lawn like that, like, boy, you ain't got no manners.
Can't stop, won't stop.
What you doing? Come on now, you can't. You coming as my guest. Now you making me look bad.
You making me look bad. I'm Reggie Bush. What you doing, man?
Swallow it.
Well, here's what I'll say.
So we pieced out. We left. I was like, oh, I can't, because it was right in front of everybody.
Oh my God.
So it's a line to get into his house. And he has security guards, you know, making sure, you know, everybody who comes in. Yeah. Right in front of security guards. Right in front of the people. He's like, oh, no, he can't come in here.
Oh, my God.
I was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go.
Out. That's a sign.
It's a sign.
I believe in signs when I see them.
It was a sign.
All right?
God had back.
I believe in signs when I see them.
So
right?
don't
a lot of people walk right past that sign, keep going right into...
Diddy's house was Joppa. You needed to go to Nineveh. Go back home, buddy. You said you might ruin it, but this show is called Out of Pocket.
No, that
you
was
didn't
funny.
ruin it all.
That was funny.
Awesome.
That was funny.
We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, sir, man.
Appreciate the time.